The Boeing F-15SE Silent Eagle is a proposed upgrade of the F-15E by Boeing using stealth features, such as internal weapons carriage and radar-absorbent material. Design and development. A demonstration version of the F-15SE was first displayed by Boeing on March 17, 2009. The F-15SE will use fifth-generation fighter technologies to reduce its radar cross-section. Distinguishing features of this version are the conformal weapons bays that replace the conformal fuel tanks to hold weapons internally and the twin vertical tails canted outward 15 degrees to reduce radar cross-section. Weapons storage takes the place of most of each CWB fuel capacity. This variant will also have radar-absorbing material where needed. The Silent Eagle was aimed at current F-15 users such as Israel, Saudi Arabia, Japan, and South Korea, among others. The F-15SE is to have the level of stealth allowed for export by the U.S. government. Boeing has stated that this stealth will only be in the range of fifth-generation aircraft such as the F-35 Lightning II from the frontal aspect. The F-15SE will have a Raytheon AESA radar, and a new electronic warfare system from BAE Systems. This stealth will be optimized for air-to-air missions and much less effective against ground-based radars. In March 2009, Boeing formally launched the F-15 Silent Eagle and began to offer it for international sales. The aircraft is capable of carrying both internal weapons and external weapons mounted on hardpoints under each wing. The F-15SE's lower cost compared to fifth-generation fighters is intended to aid the aircraft's appeal to the export market. The aircraft would require export licenses similar to the F-35. Unit cost has been estimated by Boeing at approximately $100 a million, including spares and support. The company has been seeking other companies to be risk-sharing partners to reduce its development costs. Studies of different possible levels of reduction in radar cross-section are underway. In June 2009, Boeing stated it planned for a demonstration flight of the Silent Eagle in the third quarter 2010. During August and September 2009, Boeing performed radar cross-section testing on an F-15E with different radar-absorbent coatings to select a coating for the Silent Eagle. Although Boeing had been in tentative talks with South Korea since 2009 regarding the purchase of the Silent Eagle, it was unable to market the aircraft to international customers before it received an export license from the United States government. The company filed for an export license in early 2010, and received it in July 2010. In August 2010, clearance was granted to export the radar cross-section treatments and electronic warfare suite of the Silent Eagle to ROK. The first production F-15E was modified to the F-15E-1 configuration to serve as a Silent Eagle demonstrator. It first flew on July 8, 2010 with a left-side conformal weapons bay and on July 20, 2010 launched an AMRAAM from the CWB. New-build Silent Eagles will be lighter and more fuel-efficient than Strike Eagle conversions because of the canted tails, fly-by-wire controls, and digital EW equipment. This allows them to mount 2 additional weapons stations on the wings. In November 2010, Boeing signed an agreement with Korea Aerospace Industries for KAI to design, develop, and manufacture the conformal weapons bay for the F-15SE. KAI had previously produced wings and forward fuselages for F-15K and F-15SG. A report in the Korea Times in January 2012 indicated that only 10% of the design work on the conformal weapons bays had been completed. The same report indicated that development of the canted vertical tails had been suspended in 2010. However, Boeing had stated that development continued with scale model wind tunnel tests scheduled for the spring of 2012. Failed export bids. Israel. Diplomatic sources reported that on July 6, 2010, in a face-to-face meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked U.S. President Obama to expedite the export of the stealth F-15E, but received no reply. Israel had held a number of initial discussions regarding the plane and its capabilities, considering it an alternative to the F-35 Lightning II. A decision on which aircraft to buy was to be made by the end of summer. In August 2010, Israel chose to buy the F-35. Japan. the Silent Eagle was eliminated from the Japanese FX project. Japan instead decided to purchase the F-35 Lightning II. Saudi Arabia. In September 2009, Saudi Arabia was reported to be considering the purchase of up to 72 F-15 strike aircraft. Although they initially showed interest in the Silent Eagle, they ordered the less advanced F-15SE version in 2012. South Korea. In the competition for the Korean FX-3 fighter purchase, Lockheed Martin had stressed that the superior stealth of the F-35 will enable it to conduct low-level flights in heavily defended airspace from day one, while Boeing had marketed the ability of the Silent Eagle to revert to being more or less a standard strike eagle once those defenses are suppressed. With no Silent Eagles yet built, Boeing would use existing F-15s for the South Korean fly-off against the Eurofighter Typhoon Tranche 3, and an F-35 flight simulator. On August 18, 2013, the Korean Defense Acquisition Program Administration announced that the F-15SE was only remaining candidate after bidding. The F-35 had exceeded the budget and the Eurofighter Typhoon was disqualified based on flaws found in the bidding documents. Ex-Air Force chiefs had insisted that a stealth plane should be chosen regardless of price, and on September 24, 2013, the Defense Ministry rejected the award and said a new competition would be held to secure military capability in line with recent aviation technology developments. On November 22, 2013, the South Korean state news agency said that the ROK Air Force will purchase the F-35A Lightning II. There is an opportunity for other fighters to be bought by South Korea, but Boeing has dropped the F-15SE in favor of the advanced F-15. Specifications. Basic specifications listed are for the F-15E Strike Eagle, on which the F-15SE is based. Data from USAF F-15E Fact Sheet, Davis, and Boeing Silent Eagle, General Characteristics, Crew, 2, Length, 63.8 feet, Wingspan, 42.8 feet, Height, 18.5 feet, Wing Area, 608 FTA², Airfoil, NACA 64A 6.6 Root, NACA 64A203 Tip, Empty weight, 31,700 pounds, Max takeoff weight, 81,000 pounds, Power plant, Tour, Pratt & Whitney F100-229 afterburning turbofans, 29,000 pound forces each, Performance, Maximum speed, Mach 2.5 plus, Combat radius, 800 plus nm, ferry range, 2,400 miles, with conformal fuel tank and 3 external fuel tanks, service ceiling, 60,000 feet, rate of climb, 50,000 plus foot per minute, armament, 1 20mm M61 Vulcan 6-barreled Gatling cannon with 510 rounds of ammunition, 4 internal hardpoints in conformal weapons bays for low observable capability, or external load the same as Strike Eagles with standard CFTs, including targeting pods and additional external fuel tanks. Avionics, APG-82 Active Electronically Scan Array Radar, BAE Systems Digital Electronic Warfare System, Digital Fly-by-Wire Flight Control System, Lockheed Martin Sniper Advanced Electro-Optical Targeting System and Infrared Search and Track System, Link-16 Fighter Data Link. See also, related development, McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Boeing FF Super Hornet, Dassault Rafale, Eurofighter Typhoon, Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, Mikowan MiG-35, Shenyang J-16, Shenyang J-11B, Sukhoi Su-35, related lists, list of fighter aircraft, list of military aircraft of the United States, references, notes. Bibliography